The Israeli-Gaza war started after the Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an unprecedented assault on Israel on 7th October, with hundreds of gunmen infiltrating communities near the Gaza Strip. That attack has claimed the lives of at least 1,400 people in Israel, with over 9,000 lives lost in Gaza, most of them civilians. According to the Israeli military, the Hamas took some 230 soldiers and civilians, including women and children, to Gaza as hostages. In response, the Israeli military conducted aerial and artillery strikes that have since killed more than 9,000 Palestinians in Gaza. The global community is divided over possible solution, with some countries rallying behind Israel, while some are supporting Palestine and have since called for a ceasefire. On Saturday, several Middle East foreign ministers urged the US to persuade Israel to agree to a ceasefire. This was during a meeting with the US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. However, Blinken dismissed the idea, saying such a hold would only benefit Hamas, allowing the militant organization to regroup and attack again.
Since we reached agreement with Israel, Egypt, and the United Nations 2 weeks ago on mechanisms to enable humanitarian aid to begin reaching civilians in need, we have scaled up deliveries. We've gone from 0 to now over 100 trucks going into Gaza through the Rafah crossing every day. But this is still not enough. I spoke to Israeli leaders about tangible steps that can be taken to increase the sustained delivery of food, water, medicine, fuel, and other essential needs, while putting in place measures to prevent diversion by Hamas and other terrorist groups. We've identified mechanisms to enable fuel to reach hospitals and other needs in the south.
Washington appears now to be fronting dialogue between Israel and Palestine, even as global anger over the rising death toll among Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip piles up.
The United States continues to believe that the best viable path, indeed the only path, is through a two-state solution. That's the only guarantor of a secure Jewish and democratic Israel, the only guarantor of Palestinians realizing their legitimate right to live in a state of their own, enjoying equal measures of security, freedom, opportunity, and dignity. The only way to end a cycle of violence once and for all.
Israeli forces continue to carry out air and artillery strikes in Gaza, in what Israel says is an operation against the Hamas leadership and infrastructure in northern Gaza. Civilians have since been repeatedly called upon to evacuate southward for their own safety. Daniel Kibet, NTV Weekend Edition.